2010. Preston Broughton is a Corsica, South Dakota native who was named to the NAIA All-American First Team in 2008 and was GPAC Player of the Year in 2007 and 8, and for that season for the DWU men's basketball team. As a senior, he was an NAIA All-American Honorable Mention. He was an NAIA All-American Scholar Athlete for the 2008-9 and 2009-10 seasons. He averaged 12.7 points per game from 2005 to 2010. He finished his DWU career playing in 129 games, scored 1,644 points, grabbing 896 rebounds, and dishing out 154 assists. He was on the All-GPAC second team in 2006 and 7, and on the All-GPAC first team in 2007-8 and 9 and 10. He helped the Tigers to 3 20-game win seasons, finishing 24 and 8 in 2006-7, 24-9 in 2007-8, and 28-6 in 2009-10. The Tigers made 4 appearances in the NAIA National Tournament with Broughton. At this time, I'd like to ask Preston and his presenter John Hemingway to please come forward. I just wanted to add that it's so great to see John Hemingway again, and what an outstanding coach he is and was for Dakota Wesleyan. John was one of the first guys to leave me, and I won't forget that day. A very tough day for me, and I remember it well. He turned out to be a great friend who left his mark on DWU. So John, I really appreciate you coming back too.
Thank you, Kurt. Great to be back in Mitchell and back at Dakota Wesleyan. Jessica and I talk a lot about the relationships that we built here, and so many good people back in Mitchell that we really miss. Before I say a few words about Preston, I would like to congratulate Coach Wilbur and the Dakota Wesleyan men's basketball team. Great following you guys from afar, and very successful run here the last few years, and fun to watch, and best of luck in the future, and hopefully that your success continues. I'd also like to congratulate Kurt on his retirement. Kurt has obviously done great things for DWU in the athletic department. It was a pleasure to work with Kurt. I wish him all the best with his retirement. Good luck to John as well. I know Dakota Wesleyan athletic department is in very good hands. One thing I do need to clear up before I get started here about Preston. No matter what you hear tonight about me from Brady or Chase or Preston or Lachey back there or Rocky or any of those guys back there in that corner, it's not true. It's all fabricated, embellished, and we'll have a good time tonight going over some old stories, but I had to clear that up. I was hired at Dakota Wesleyan on April 11th, 2005. I did not have to look that up. It stuck in my memory. I believe it was a Monday, and on Tuesday of that week, I was sitting in Preston's living room with Jason and Larissa, recruiting him to come to Dakota Wesleyan. Had a great visit down there in Corsica, and I had not seen Preston play. I'm driving back from Corsica to Mitchell, and I'm wondering, I can't believe I'm actually driving back from Corsica to Mitchell, but I was also thinking, what should I do with this kid? I was a little bit at a crossroads. I hadn't seen him play, and the recruiting is just such a vital part of who you choose and pick to be in your program. But I just had a feeling about Preston. There was something in that living room that day that just clicked. So I offered him a scholarship, but I would be lying at that time if I knew that he was going to be a first-team All-American and a GPAC Player of the Year. I'd also like to just thank Jason and Larissa. You let me coach your son. You supported our program 5 years. I will say this about my 2 sons. If Jack or Owen grows up to be anything like Preston, I'll know I did well as a parent. So thank you. Just a little bit about Preston. Kurt kind of went through some of his highlights. Preston became what I call a player between his freshman year and his sophomore year. That's when he really took off. He got bigger, he got stronger, he got more confident. He started to push back a little bit, and you could just see it. It was just like that little cub in the springtime. You don't see him all winter, and then you see him in the spring, and it's like, wow, look at this. He just turned into a really good player. That year, sophomore year, we had a special season, obviously 24-8, 13-5 second in the GPAC, and Preston was a big part of that. His junior year, the next year, he was named first team All-American, GPAC Player of the Year, and he slowly became our best player, but most importantly, he became our toughest player. Coming in when I got the job at Dakota Wesleyan, I just kept telling myself, how are we going to get as tough as Northwestern? How are we going to get as tough as Sioux Falls? How are we going to get as tough as Morningside? Those three programs were at the top of the GPAC at the time. And when I left here in 2010, after Preston's senior year, we had beaten Sioux Falls 6 out of 9 times. We had beaten Morningside 5 out of 6 times. And we had beaten Northwestern 4 straight times. So just a little bit about the history of our program those 5 years when Preston was with us. One just quick story about Preston. It sticks out in my mind, and I tell my current assistant this all the time. We're playing a big game. We're getting ready to play a big game. And I always tell him, man, I wish I had Preston in line tonight. But we were playing Dort at the Corn Palace, and I thought we were ready to play the game. And I think we started out, I want to say 13-2. We're down. So I got to burn a timeout. And I can't tell you what I said. It wouldn't be appropriate in the huddle right now. But I will tell you that most of it and all of it was directed at Preston. After that timeout, Preston came out. I think he had 3 or 4 rebounds, a block shot or 2, a steal, scored 8 straight points. Dort calls timeout. We end up winning the game by about 15. And yes, we beat Dort again at the Corn Palace. So that was great. In closing, I'd like to say just a little bit about that toughness thing. I've been a college basketball coach for 20 years, and a small college head coach for 11 years. And Preston is the toughest player that I've ever had. I want everybody to know that I miss coaching Preston Broughton. So congratulations, Preston.
To start, I'd like to congratulate all the other inductees tonight. You guys are all very deserving of this honor. I don't think anyone from Corsica who saw me when I was a 5'8" freshman who weighed 125 pounds would thought I'd be standing here today.